Okay, so now moving on to solving algebra problems that involve multiplication and division. One example of this might be 3x plus 9 equals 39. So to start to solve this, we want to end up with x by itself, but to begin with we have got this plus 9 which is in the way. So it's similar to the last time. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove 9 from both sides. So record what you're doing over at the side and then keeping your equal signs in total. That's going to give me 3x equals 30. What I've done is I've taken 9 away from this side and I've taken 9 away from this side. So now I've got 3x equals 30, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to divide each side by 3. So if I divide 3x by 3, I get left with x, and if I divide 30 by 3, I get left with 10. So x is 10, and then you take the 10 and you put it back into your equation and see if it works. So 3 times by 10 is 30, plus 9 is 39. So let's do another example similar to that one. So this time I have got 7x plus 6 and it equals 55. And again I'm trying to get the x's on their own. So the first thing I'm going to do is to get rid of this 6. So over in brackets at the side I'm going to take 6 away from both sides. So I record that. If I take 7x take away 6, that leaves me with 7x. And then the 55 take away 6 leaves me with 49. On my next row down, I need to divide by 7. So as I'm coming down there, if I divide 7x by 7, I'm left with x, and if I divide 49 by 7, I'm left with 7. So x equals 7, and again, see if it works. 7 sevens are 49, add 6 is 55. So now let's look at an example that involves division. And when we are using division, we never actually use a division sign. We set divisions out similar to fractions. So we put one number over the top of another. So if I wanted to have x and I wanted it to be divided by 4, I would write it like that. And if I wanted to have x plus 6 divided by 4, that's how I would record it. So in this example, I have got x plus 3 divided by 4 and it equals 5. So there's my equation. I need to obviously find out what x is. So again this time I've got this division. I want to get rid of the division. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to multiply both sides by 4. So I record that over at the side. So over at the side I'm going to say multiply by 4. If I multiply this side of my equation by 4, then I'm going to be left with x plus 3. Then if I multiply my 5 by 4, I'll be left with 20. So I've now got x plus 3 equals 20. And again, it's the 3 that's now getting in the way, so I'm going to take 3 away from both sides, and that's going to leave me with x equals 17. I'm always going to put it back into check. So if I do put it back into check, 17 plus 3 equals 20. 20 divided by 4 does equal 5. So I'm correct. So in our last example, it's getting a little bit harder, but if we stick to our steps, we'll be fine. So this one, we've got 6x, and 6x has been divided by 2 and plus 8, and it equals 26. And that's the code that we need to crack. So here we're going to go back to our simplifying to begin with, because I'm first of all going to look at this section that I've got here. And I'm going to say, actually, that 2 goes into 2 once, and 2 goes into 6 3 times. So actually, the first thing I'm going to do is to simplify my fraction, which is going to give me 3x plus 8 equals 26. So my first step there was to simplify, and I can record that just with a simple s over the side. So I simplified it. Now my 8 is stopping the x's being on their own. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides of my equation. So this leaves me with 3x equals 18. 26 take away 8 gives me 18. So 3x equals 18. Once I've got that stage, I need x on its own. And the way I'm going to get x on its own is to divide both sides by 3. So my next row down, 3x divided by 3 leaves me with x, and then 18 divided by 3 leaves me with 6. So x equals 6. So then you need to take your answer and put it back in at the start. So 6 times 6 is 36, divided by 2 is 18, plus 8 is 26. So again, I know that I'm right. Have a go at the questions on the sheet and we'll look at them all on Tuesday.